Hey everybody, this is Amanda with Secret Attic Thrift Store. Today we're going to talk about restoring wood frames. What you're going to see here today are a couple of shadow box nautical style pieces of artwork from a company called Turner Wall Accessory. These were popular in the 70s, as you may tell from the style here, and you can see they're pretty banged up, dinged up, scratched up. I actually grabbed these at a different thrift store this weekend, but we often get things like this at Secret Attic, and I don't want people passing them over. So I want to show you how to go from point A, what you're seeing here, kind of the before, to point B. This second frame that the camera is passing over right now is one that I've already touched up and polished up and gotten it back to its former glory. So I'm going to take you guys through all the steps, but first thing you need to know is your supplies. You're going to need an old rag, the feed and wax for the furniture, the Old English polish, and a set of touch-up markers and crayons, and some glass cleaner, an old toothbrush, and a sanding block, and some clean paper towels. First, you want to just wipe the whole thing down with the dry paper towel. Do not use any cleaner or oil or anything at this point, just the paper towel. Then you want to take your markers and literally start coloring. Color and rub, color and rub. That's what you're going to see here. So you get the closest match you can. There's about 4 or 5 different marker colors usually in each kit, but you literally just cover every single tiny little scratch from a pinhole all the way up to some of the bigger scratches that you'll see here in a minute. Just color and rub it in, color and rub it in. And you want to do that pretty quickly because these really do work like magic markers and you don't want it to dry looking like a magic marker. So don't do several spots at a time and go back and rub. Do one at a time. And as you can see here, this particular spot I passed over 2 or 3 times. You may have to do that. And if it still doesn't cover all the way, don't panic because there's going to be a few more steps here and you'll see how it all comes together in the end. So pass over it 2, 3, maybe 4 times and then move on to the next step. You can see even here with the bigger scratches, the larger scratches, the deeper scratches, the more serious damage, I'm still going to hit every single one of these with this touch-up marker first before I do anything else. And it's going to be the exact same process. You just want to color and rub, color and rub. This was actually the worst spot of damage out of both of the frames, all total. This was absolute worst. This was a deep gouge. It looked like somebody either hit it with something or maybe it fell into something. So you'll see as I'm going over it with the marker, there's a little bit of improvement there, but this step absolutely will not completely cover this damage like you saw it do with some of the smaller, lesser damaged spots earlier in the video. But just keep at it, hit every single spot with that marker. Now, a little hint here, if you actually want it to look a little more distressed, but still somewhat new, if that makes sense in the end, you may want to go a shade darker or even use your black marker because then you're going to get that deeper tone in those scratches. But my goal here is actually to match the frame because I want to bring it back as close to original as I can. So again, I'm just hitting every single tiny little spot with that marker. And you want to make sure that you rub it in and get a little bit of pressure there. Not so much that you put your own scratches and damage in the frame, but enough pressure that you're helping to rub that color down into all those little scratches, all those little grooves, all those little damaged spots. Just color and then rub it in quickly and with a fair amount of pressure. You just want to go all the way around the frame. Don't miss any spots. We're going to come in next with a little crayon. So these are very waxy. And you want to do the same thing here. Color and rub, color and rub. But the difference is you want to rub this with your finger because since these are wax and we're actually trying to fill in rather than just cover, you want to fill in these deeper scratches. So you see me going both vertically and horizontally over the scratch. You want to put the wax in there and then rub it with your hand because that warmth is going to help that wax fall down into and settle into those deeper gouges and cracks and spots of damage. So just hit it with that crayon and then go over it with your fingers so that the heat will help get it down into those grooves. Now you see me just barely tapping on the top of that Old English because this stuff it's pretty serious. You do not want to get this all over the place. You don't want to make a mess with it. So you just tap it with the toothbrush, get a little bit on there, and this is your next step. And this is that horrible spot of damage that y'all saw a minute ago. Between the marker, the crayon, and the Old English, it's looking pretty good. You can still tell something happened there, but the colors matched up. Now this rag that you're seeing is seasoned, as I like to call it, like a good iron skillet. But instead of being seasoned with bacon grease, this guy is seasoned with a combination of that feed and seed wax and that Old English, which is kind of an oil/stain combination almost. So I'm going to take that rag next and I'm going to rub over the entire frame. And this kind of just helps blend everything together. It really helps all those different layers, the marker, the wax, it helps it all just settle in together. It also cleans the wood and it gives us the really beautiful shine that you're seeing here. So again, just barely tap and go in not only on your damaged spots, but in these corners, because what happens with these old wood frames is that dust settles in there and it's almost impossible to get it out. But the little bit of oiliness that's in that Old English, it'll help get that dust out. It'll help recolor anything that's faded or just kind of out of whack with those corners. You can see it gives it a nice depth of color there. And then just wipe that toothbrush over that whole frame to make sure that you're getting color in every little crack, every little crevice, and to make sure that you're getting out any dust that may have settled in there. Now next, just go over it with that seasoned rag one more time. Rub everything in really well. And the next thing you want to do is take a clean paper towel, because there's going to be excess. There's going to be oil on this thing from everything you've done to it. So after you let it sit for a few minutes, take that clean paper towel and just run it over the whole frame. Now this is the finished product. You guys remember the first time we went past this and we scanned over these two pieces here, how bad they looked. I spent a total of maybe 10 to 15 minutes on each frame, and now they are absolutely beautiful. Yes, they still have some characters. Yes, they still have a few little dings here and there, but all that color is matched back up. You're not seeing all those light spots and scratches. They absolutely look good enough to hang on the wall, to put on eBay, whatever it is that you may want to do with those next. Totally up to you. But again, please don't pass over these old, beautiful pieces of artwork. Grab them at your local thrift stores. Go through this quick and easy process. All of those supplies together probably cost under $25, and you'll get at least that many projects out of them, 25, 30, 40 projects even, depending on the size, just from those few supplies that you invest in. So I hope you guys enjoy this. Come see us at Secret Attic and find your wood-framed art to restore.